What's happening, party people? Before I get started, I want to let you know that there is some kind of contest going on at TikTok. They're having I guess, automobile enthusiast contest. One of the contests is somebody doing a review on a vehicle. The other contest is someone doing some kind of repair on the vehicle. And I think first prize of both of those contests around $1,500, or it may be $1,500 credit toward purchasing some stuff that somebody has somewhere. Anyway, I am going to enter that contest. So this is over on TikTok. You don't have to have TikTok installed on your phone, but if you even use a computer, you can type in Robert DIY TikTok, and it'll probably take you to my page on TikTok. I got two pages on TikTok. One's called Got Manhood. The other one's just Robert DIY. The Robert DIY one has the automobile stuff on there. By tomorrow, I will post a video over there. This video needs to have 5,000 views in 5 days. Hope it happens. The other video, the one about the repair, needs to have 1,000 views in 5 days. So if you guys could help me out, I'd appreciate it. If you find the video, probably on my channel or profile, you have to watch at least 10 seconds of the video. If you swipe up off of the video 10 seconds and swipe back, it'll count that as another view. So if you have time, go watch it once or twice. Share it with anybody you know that might have TikTok on their phone, watches TikTok. I'd appreciate it. It'd be nice to win a little something and use the money towards whatever I get. I don't think it's cash prize, but it may be. And they have probably 30, 40 prizes for like 5 first place prizes, 20 second place prizes, 30 third place prizes, something like that. So if you guys could go there anytime after today, look for my TikTok video and watch it a time or two, I would appreciate it. I need 5,000 views on the car review, and I need 1,000 views on the repair video. So help me out, I'd appreciate it. Welcome to this week in review videos. Man, I got a lot of stuff in this video. Let me see what I got here. I went to Chicago, took care of some stuff there. I remixed the alternator video. Man, I'm doing these alternators in like hour 15 minutes now. So this has all of the tips and tricks to show you how to do those alternators. Went to a salvage yard and picked up a subframe for somebody. We got that S60 stripped out and hauled off. Got the engine and everything out of that. I think the last video. This video we pulled a few more things out of there and got that thing hauled away. Now, while in Chicago, I had Alex help me weld some door check straps and lemonade. So this video has that information. I got that spring turned around in the rear spring perch on the passenger side. That helped. I did a few other things. Helped somebody put in a K24 turbo in their car that they got from a turbo rebuilder that kind of creeps around the Volvo forums community. Doesn't say much in public, but when he hears somebody mention they need a turbo, man, he hits them DMs quick. They got a turbo from them, K24, look good. Hopefully that thing will run good and last a good long time. Shipped out a few tools, did a few more things in Chicago. One thing I wanted to let you guys know, occasionally somebody will have a Volvo that they've used up. I mean, they've used it up. They got their money's worth plus their money's worth again plus their money's worth again. And they're at the point where that thing is really to them not worth rebuilding or fixing. Got a call from a guy in Rockport, Illinois area. That's outside of Chicago, about an hour. He led me to believe that he was going to junk the car or give it to me. He didn't want to see it go to waste. He So I loaded up my car dolly, went to Chicago, and one day I was getting close to him. So I said, hey, I'm loading up my car dolly. I'm going to come out there. And then he started asking for money. Now, I get people occasionally that, again, they're finished with the car. They're about to junk it. And oftentimes, because of all the money they've saved through watching the videos, me advising them how to get things fixed, them learning how to fix things, they donate those cars. And it'll cost me a couple $100 to get it home, anywhere from $200 to $400. And then I start putting money into them to fix them, to either flip them, which I don't often do the cars that are used up. I usually donate those cars. And this particular guy started asking for money, telling me how much he needed money. And it's like, look, I'm not in a position or financially willing to spend money for a car that's been used up. He said it had engine knock, don't have an exhaust, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to pay for a car and spend $1,500 and the car still be worth $500 and then donate it to somebody that needs a car. And I had two people that needed a car, and I was going to donate the car to them after I serviced it. But I'm not paying for it and then servicing it and then donating it. I'm just not financially in that position to do that. Life dynamics change. I did a live the other day explaining to people that I'm having to adjust my prices because my budget has changed, because cost of living has gone through the roof over the last 10 years since I've been doing this. And it's time for price adjustment. Even with the price adjustment, people are still going to be 50 cents on the dollar, 75 at worst, unless they do an extreme thing and just have me go somewhere far out and pay for the whole trip for me to go and come back to my schedule. And at that point, they're probably going to be retail. Heck, some of these cars you can't even get fixed in your area, let alone have somebody come in, fly in, or drive in to fix them and do it right and do it where it's going to run and not butcher stuff up for the price that I'm doing. Most people that watch and experience my visits, they understand that and they know that. So even at the price adjustments and tweaks that I'm doing to the cost, they're still going to win. People used to be 30 cents on the dollar. They're going to be 50, 60 cents on the dollar. In most cases, they're still winning. But back to my point, I think there's people out there that think I'm a Volvo fanatic. You know, you have sports fanatics. People buy season tickets to Steeler games or Raven tickets or Cowboy tickets. They take a vacation to go watch a Cowboys game. Those are fanatics. I can't afford to be a fanatic. I just don't have it in my budget. So I'm not. I've had people contact me, say, Robert, I got this Volvo. I would love for you to have it. I think you're the best person to have it. Man, I'll let you have this thing for $1,500. I'll ask them a couple questions, jump on Craigslist, find the dang thing on Craigslist for $800. Now, you're going to sell it to the general public for $800, but you're going to contact me and jack the price up almost double and sell it to me for $1,500. Oh man, I can't afford to be a fool. I just can't. I don't have enough money to be a fool. So I'm not the fool. Have somebody else do. But besides that, there's a turbo wagon Volvo 850 up in, I think, the Rockport, Illinois area. And I think this guy will sell this car for $500. You ask me. Maybe less. He might take what a salvage yard would give him so he could get a few $100. And the car supposedly has a lot of usable parts on there. Now, for the Volvo 850 owners, there are some parts that we can no longer buy. You know, I don't know if you could buy a door latch. You know, mass airflow sensors cost $250 to get a good one. And He claims that there's several parts on this car that are good and usable because he was keeping the car on the road for himself and his family to use. So it may be worth something for somebody else. But for me, I don't need a parts car. I got a lot of parts in my storages and my garage area. I don't need parts. I need cars that I could turn into running cars and flip or donate to people that's in need. So that's what I do. And I still do that. Not as much as I used to, but I do. And if I have a car that I could do that to, I do it. I've donated maybe one a year over the last couple of years. Besides that, there's a guy that has a 240 manual. I think it's an 85 model. Probably got 1,000,000 miles on it. But the car supposedly runs great. The interior looks great. The outside is rough. Has some rust on it. Little bit on the hood. Little bit on the rear quarter panel. It could be fixed. Somebody could have a nice 240 stick if they want. 4-speed with the overdrive. Last I heard, he was said $1,500. He might take less for that. Here's his number. I think it's still available. That car is located in Monticello, Kentucky, just for location wise. Another thing I seen, a T5R wagon in black located in the Chicago area. The price started out like 12 G's, something like that. It's down to like $6,500. Now, if I'm in the area, I will go check that car out for you and let you know what all it needs or what all I think it needs. Just pay me to go check it out. That way you don't have the risk in purchasing the vehicle, having it transported to you, and then finding out that it needs $4,000 worth of rust restoration and then $6,000 worth of mechanical restoration, and then you need to detail it after that. So if I'm in an area and you want me to check out a vehicle for you, watch the videos kind of daily or as often as I post. You'll know if I'm in that area or not. If I'm not in that area, like say you wanted me to go check that car out tomorrow in Chicago. I could leave here 5, 6 in the morning. I could get to Chicago in 5 hours. I could check that car out an hour or two. I could get back home the same day, and you pay me for my time. It might cost you $400 or $500 to have me check out that car, but you're looking at a vehicle that could be worth 10, 12 G's if it was in good condition. And if it's rough, you may be able to negotiate the price down a couple $1,000 off of the $6,500 because of what needs done. If that person is in a position where they need to sell it or really want to sell it, they'll probably be reasonable. But if they're not, you don't want to buy a car for $6,500 that's worth $4,000. Now, those cars, 95 T5R wagons, are extremely hard to find. I probably see 2 or 3 for sale per year. And if I had to guess, there's probably 35 yellow ones on the road now and probably the same amount of black ones. So if you're an enthusiast, you want one of those cars to enjoy for a couple years or hold on to for several, that's a way to do it. But hey, if I'm in the area, you can fly me there and back. That'll save time. Check out the car for you and let you know if it's worth buying. Let you know if you wanted me to do a mechanical restoration on it or something like that. We can negotiate that out, do that kind of stuff. But hey, if you see a car for sale and you think I'm close to it or you want me to check it out, reach out and let me know. Anyway, I'm going to get going. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Kicking off the Tinker Day. About to get the rest of this stuff out of this S60. Got to put the tires on. Not sure how that's going to work with those control arms loose like that. But we'll see. I got to get the exhaust from under there. I got to get the CV axle from under there. I want to get the seats out. in the glass out because this glass is tinted, although it's like 35%. Maybe Elizabeth can use that and get this trailer out of the way. They're supposed to be here in 2 hours-ish. So let's get cracking. I think I'm gonna move these cars first. This stuff out of the way. That don't matter. It's gotta be done one thing at a time. But she's got a parking spot for her car there. So let me go ahead and move the car. I got the wheels on. I got the hood lifts. I got the ECU. I got some other computer from over there. I got a hydraulic engine mount, engine torque arm. I got 8 speakers and the connectors. I got both front seats. I got the center stack. I got the light switch, the door switches. You say you want this emblem off the steering wheel? Let me cut that off real quick. And we got the tail lights, most of the lug nuts, the calipers, engine, transmission, angle gear. I think that's all we really need. I guess I could take this bottle here. These probably never get busted though, but the pumps are connected to it. So let me grab those real quick. Well, that's it. Got everything we want. Rest of it is going to the crusher. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. We gotta turn it left, right. Finish getting it out of here. Da, 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 da. Ready? Pull. There it is, folks. Going to its Viking Grave. We have more space here. Man, we got $275 for that shell. Wish I could have got the glass out because the glass is tinted. But hey, I think he's gonna flip it and roll it into the back of his truck if he don't tie that thing down. There it is. Oh, he almost did it. Smash out his back glass messing with that thing. There you go. Tie it down, my friend. Well, we got that S60 out of here. Cleaned up most of this stuff here. Still got a few things to clean up. Got some 850 caliper cores. Me too. Cleaned all the moss off of Lagoon. Got some of the stuff sprayed off of that vehicle. Somebody's interested in that. I'll shoot some pictures of the inside for them. And I'm gonna disconnect this trailer and call it a night. Well, Elizabeth has a light out right here. I gotta figure out how to replace that bulb without taking the bumper off. Here we are, folks, at a C70. Maybe a Japanifold. I'm gonna knock these bolts off here and see. Probably a regular turbo exhaust manifold. Here's the turbo off of it. Looks like somebody put a aftermarket thing on there. I can't tell if this is a 16T or what. Probably a 16T. We are here at Bessler's U Pull and Pay in Louisville, Kentucky. Came down here to get a C70 subframe, and they put the wheels on it. We also came to get a C70 brace, and they put the wheels on that. They are not helpful, but helping you get the parts you need from these cars. Rate supported on the subframe, and rate supported on the brace where you can't get the bolts out. It's crazy. Then they don't want to move the car so you can get it. So if you don't have a floor jack you could pick this thing up with, you're screwed. And even the front brace looks like the thing is on there. Yep. One wheel's on the front brace, one wheel. They got all three pieces locked up down here. This really sucks. We are here with an 850. It has a platinum rear hatch. Got a little dent in it, a little bit of rust on it that kind of sucks. But it is a platinum rear hatch. It's so refreshing not having that extra S60 here. I am kicking off the day. I'm going to clean out Lemonade. We're getting ready to head to Chicago for a few days. Take a couple things to storage, stuff like that. But I don't think we'll get ready in time to leave today, so we'll prepare to leave tomorrow. Decided to run Lemonade through the car wash before we hit the road. Man, I gotta get my stuff together at home so I can hand wash this thing from now on. But this is probably just as quick, less effort. Kicking off the Tinker Day on the road. Indianapolis, Indiana. You pull it. Rumor has it there's a C70 here. We're trying to get subframe parts for one of our customers, and they might have some more goodies on this car. Let's check it out and see. Well, folks, here's a C70 convertible. I got the rear view mirror because my buddy Arian told me that was a dimmable. I got the subframe brace. I got the subframe with that brace. Jewels are already removed from it. So I'm going to call it a day and get out of here. We have decided to put in some time on Lemonade. And the first thing on the schedule is fixing this lower window track. Whenever you close the door and the window is not in the full closed position, you hear this horrible glass rattle because that window track securing lower nut is broken off. And then when I pulled the track out, the foam was missing from it, and there it is down there. So I got to reach in the door through here and pull that felt rubber out. So now that window track is all the way out. I got to put some pliers on that end piece and get that out. So there that is. That for some reason breaks off on a lot of these cars. It's a built broke situation, and that's the screw that goes in it. So here's the replacement. I got the replacement from a S70. It's the same fit, maybe a little stronger. Oh, this is the nut I'm going to put on this screw after I put that in position. Now when I roll the window down, it'll go right in that track, and when I close the door it won't rattle because the window won't be loose anymore. So that's the window going down in there. You can see it all the way down here, and when I close the door it'll no longer rattle and make noise. Normally happens on the driver's side, occasionally the passenger side, but I did put a nut and washer, a nut with a washer on it, and secured it with that screw right there. Now I can put the light back in, put the door panel back in. Before I put this door panel on, I'm gonna see if Alex can weld this door check strap back together. Most of you know I've had an ABS light on my car for quite some time. See that ABS light? Somebody told me it's probably this switch right here. Pressure switch. So I actually changed it, so I'm gonna see if it goes out when I drive the car. You come out here and that switch is right there. Now I put this scribe on there and I found a catch on this thing here. I lifted it up and it released the ring out of there. When I pulled it out, I heard a big gasp of air. Another one in to replace it, and we'll see if that cures my ABS issue. Next on the tinker's docket, we're going to try to fix this door check strap. The door check strap is there, but where it mounts, heck, this one may only need the door check strap. I see the screw missing there. Well, let me pull this door check strap, see if I can get this one working. Pull the door panel off and go from there. I thought this one was destroyed, but maybe it's not. As I pulled this one off, of course the T30 was already loose. This screw's tight. This pin came out, but it doesn't look like I broke my board there, so that's good. Let me keep pulling this door apart. To my surprise, all these bolts are tight, although they don't look like the original ones. This is loose. Put that back on there. Pull this out. I'm gonna take that out. I got the bolt out and see if that, heck, this piece here looks solid. Man, I should have fixed this thing a long time ago. Look, that thing is totally loose in here. So this was actually, the door check strap was bad and not the car. How about that? The door check strap on this one is actually broke. That screw's broke out. The other piece is totally broke off. So let me pull that 10mm out and see if that'll solve my issues. I don't even see any damaged metal there. And this is the piece broke off of there. Let me grab one of my door check straps and get that thing installed. See if that cures this one. I have the one I got from Swedish Car Parts here. It's made a little bit different. That's a OEM one, and this is a Swedish Car Parts one. And it has the studs in it, so it's likely a 70 series one, but they fit and work. So let me maneuver this thing in here and secure it. Find a couple nuts, put some lubrication on this thing. I'm gonna spray some lithium grease on it and see how it functions. Fortunate for me, I have a tub full of nuts. I would recommend you put nuts on here that have washers on them like this. If you don't have those, put some on there like this. Try to avoid using the ones with little to no washers on them, because this metal is thin and prone to tear. So use the bigger washers. If you don't have washers on your nuts like this, go get some washers and put on there. Let me go ahead and get this installed. I secure my screws, and now I see the weld broken right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this door and get that welded. Turn these two E8s loose. I loosened that and screwed it counterclockwise. Took that back out and the door is off. Now we gotta try to get this welded. See all the weld breaks on that? And it is sunk in some, so we gotta try to get that pulled back out as well. I use this pry bar to pry out on this stud to try to pull this weld level with the skin. Next thing I need to do is scrape the paint off of here, because you should be welding to bare metal. So let me find something to scrape that off. And if I could get this out of the way, I would. Let me take this rubber gasket off of here. Give me a little bit more area to weld onto. Alright, let me go get something to scrape paint. I scraped the paint off with this wire wheel on the drill, and I actually see a couple of hairline cracks. See that one right there, and another one up there. I normally stop drill those, but since we're going to be welding, it may not be necessary. So let me get my welder in place, get this stuff fixed. I think I'm going to take the other door off too and have it ready. For some strange unknown reason, this one didn't have a screw in it. So I'm going to take out the two E8 screws. I got the plug-in screw. I'm gonna take loose the two E8s, lift this door off. See the damage behind there? I don't know, it looked like somebody may have welded that at one time, but we'll see here for sure in a minute. I don't know if this door check strap is any good, but it's there. Let's get this door off. Well, it definitely looks like somebody has tried to fix this one before. Man, this is a mess. We're gonna try again. Gotta keep trying. Put a wire on there so that thing wouldn't fall down and disappear. But I grabbed these channel locks and I straightened that metal out as much as I could. Straighten this out a little bit. I will say this metal here is pretty soft. So you can't mess around with bad door check straps with this stuff or it just falls apart like it did. So let us try to get this thing where we can weld it up. It's like looking at lightning. Shoo. Man, we had to do a lot of grinding. Man, I was messing around with a diamond tip wheel grinder and found out how expensive that is. I moved this thing over to the belt sander to grind that thing down. So it's gonna fit here like this. I'm gonna weld that thing right there. That's the next plan of action as soon as my welder gets back. Whoop, whoop. And this is how much weld we put on this. That is a lot, but we hope it holds. And that's the amount of weld we got on that. I'm gonna blow this out. I got some water in there. Now, ultimately, you can make this look a little better. You could grind the tips down a little bit, put some body filler around it or something to make it look better, prime it, paint it, cover it up. I don't have time for that right now, so right now I'm going to attach the doors and come back and do that some other time. Get that mount pushed in and he's gonna take care of his little petty stuff and be good to go. Kicking off the tinker day. About to change this alternator. This alternator, sometimes it hangs up and it causes a parasitic draw like 1.8 milliamps or amps or whatever it is, 1.8 amps, and drains the battery. So we got a replacement alternator. We figured that out because we did a amp draw test, and as soon as I undid the bolt on the alternator, the draw went away. It's intermittent, but it's just going to get worse. So we got a Bosch Reman alternator. That's the one you want. It looks like the pulley is correct, not a 960 pulley. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is open the hood, disconnect the battery ground. I removed the computer box air vent tube just because it's easier to do this job with that. I'm going to disconnect the battery. Next, I'm going to remove the computer box. You take a screwdriver, you pry these up on both sides, get that out of the way. Pull this up and out of the way. Take the computers out and set them out of the way. Now you pull this 10mm bolt there and you take this part of the computer box out. Got a latch there, a latch here in the front, and a latch on the back down there. Pry those up, get this box out of the way. Pull that box now because it makes it super easy to get these bolts on the front of this power steering pump and this serpentine belt tensioner out of here. It speeds up the job probably by 10 minutes. I lift the coolant reservoir bottle up and out of the way so I could get that back latch unplugged the wire on it so I didn't damage that or the sensor. So that is out of the way. Next, you want to release the serpentine belt. If you don't have a tool for that, I have them on my website, and pin that open so you get the serpentine belt off. This is the tool I sell on my website. You just put it in that hole there, get an 18mm wrench, turn that back, hold it open with the screw I use or a small Allen. There it is, released and pinned open. Now I could slip the serpentine belt off. Pay attention to how your belt is routed. People get stuck with that and it takes them a long time to get that figured out. Now unfortunately, it's easier to drain a little bit of coolant and fill that back up. So I'm gonna drain about a half gallon of coolant to get the coolant below this line here. I'm gonna remove this hose to get it out of the way of the job. So come down here and drain the coolant from inside there. Hopefully you have the Volvo type drain. If you don't, which is a 13mm deep, you'll have to remove this splash panel air guide and then drain some coolant. If you got to remove that, it should be a 10mm on both sides of that. To my unpleasant surprise, that thing was held up by 2 zip ties. And this has the aftermarket style radiator caulk, so I got a oil eater pad, a pan. I'm gonna have to twist that and pull it down with a pair of pliers to drain the coolant out of here, which I don't like because it's a little messy, but it is what it is. So you turn it a little bit and you massage it down. So let me work on that and get it to drain the coolant. The coolant will start coming out slow. You loosen the cap on the reservoir bottle and that'll speed it up. Once you get about a gallon out, you close that cap, slow it back down, and put the plug back in the bottom. And there it is. I'm gonna take this hose loose, and it should be low enough so that none leaks out as I remove that hose. Normally it has clamps on there, but this has these squeezy type clamps. So let me get a pair of pliers and get that loose. Next, to make it just a little easier, go ahead and pull your oil dipstick. It has a 12mm down there. You put a wrench on this side of it. You pull the wrench that way to take that bolt loose. There's a 12mm bolt on the bottom, or you can leave it in there, but I found it much easier when you pull that bolt and pull the dipstick out of the way. Next, I'm gonna take a 12mm socket, remove that bolt and that bolt to remove that tensioner. Then I'm gonna remove the bolt under it that will take this bracket loose for this power steering stuff. Next, I'm gonna take this bolt loose right there that holds the power steering bracket in the alternator. It's 12 on this side, 13 on this side. Next, I'm gonna take the bolt loose that bolts in the back of here. It's a 12mm. It's blind and you reach it under the alternator. Next, I'm gonna take this wire loose from the alternator, a sensing wire, and the 13mm bolt that has the main power lead coming off the alternator. You gotta pop that cap off, it just pulls off, then 13mm on that. Next, I'm gonna unhook this harness from this coolant temp sensor from this bracket here. Some of these cars are missing this bracket, so if it's not there, don't worry about it. You can see the socket on the bolt that goes through to the front of this pulley bracket. So that's where it is. Break it loose and then unscrew it all the way out. Next, I'm going to loosen a couple of the bolts that holds this in place. I'm going to loosen this one about 2 turns. Loosen that one about 2 turns. That will allow me to get this power steering pump assembly with the lines up and out of the engine. After loosening just 2 on this side, I was able to lift this up and out of the way. Now you can see I'm here at the alternator, and I have one bolt left, it looks like, to get this alternator out. That one there, which is 12 on this side, 13 on that side. And that's it. Massage the alternator up and out of here, and you're out. Get your replacement. Remove any tags and stuff off of it, and set it in place. So that was it, 45 minutes, I got it out. Now this blind bolt that I reached under there and got, it goes through this alternator lower bracket mounting point. It goes through there, through here, and into the back of this right here. So if you want, you get this lined up, you can push this bolt through and it'll be set in place for you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm actually going to use it to help me line this up and push it through there and leave it like that so that it's ready to receive that when I set that back in place. So I used the bolt that I pulled out of here and set here as a guide to guide that lower hole in. So now I'm going to slide that there, the one I just took out of there, and pull that back out of there and slide this long one in the back, so I can have that lower bolt in place, ready to put the power steering and pull these stuff back in place. There it is in place. I'm gonna push it back just a little bit so the bracket can come down in place properly. And then I'm gonna put the nut and tighten that on. I have this bolt in and tight. Now I'm gonna drop that in place and tighten that bolt from the inside. Before I tightened any bolts, I set this in place, put that bolt through it down there. I put this bolt through the top thing there. Now I'm gonna get the lower one started, the one that's blind behind the alternator that's in place. Then I'm gonna get that one started in the threads. This one's already started in the threads. After I get this one in, I'm going to go ahead and tighten it all the way in. You don't want to tighten any of these screws until you have them all threaded through. So I had that threaded through, I had that threaded through, I had the one down below there threaded through. After they were all threaded through, then I snugged all three of them down, and then I tightened them, and then I tightened these two here, this one here and this one here, and make sure this clip is in the proper position. It has a little stop and a hole right there, if that'll ever come in focus. Right there is where that clip is supposed to be keyed into. I got the alternator bolts tightened and torqued. Now I'm going to put on the power lead down there with the new nut. Of course, you want to make sure your battery is fully charged before you install an alternator, and you want to make sure it's disconnected before you hook it up. So I'm gonna hook that up, snug that bolt down, plug the sense wire in, and then I'm going to hook up my serpentine belt. My new alternator power lead bolt was a 12, go figure. But I got that cover on there, I got that wire replaced. Now you want to look to make sure that your pulley lines up in line. Go ahead and put that tensioner back on, secure those bolts, and then I'm gonna put this coolant hose and top off the coolant. I got the serpentine belt on, got the tension on it. I'm getting ready to put this coolant hose in, put the computer boxes in. First you slide the box in and snap it in those 3 rings. It has a little guide on the front, and put that bolt in right there. Before I put this coolant hose on, I'm gonna put that oil dipstick back in. I got set over there. So let me go ahead and do those 3 things and put the computers in before I hook up the battery. Some people cover things and plug holes when they do jobs like this. Like they'll put something in the oil dipstick hole so nothing falls in there. They'll put tape over your ECU box so dirt don't get in those connectors. They'll put rags in these coolant things. If you're going to do that, that's great, especially if you're going to drag the job out for 2-3 days. This hour, 10-minute job. But make sure you uncover all that stuff before you put stuff back in. Let me go ahead I did plug in the low coolant sensor wire for this reservoir. Let me hook up this hose, fill up the coolant system, and put that air gap back on the bottom. Here are the tools that you'll need to do this job. The ones in the circle here. Some of these are pro tools, but let me go through the list. Large flat tip screwdriver, 18 millimeter. The tools to get the serpentine belt loose. 10 millimeter socket, 13 millimeter socket, 12 millimeter socket, a 12 and 13 boxed in ratchet wrench, 7 and 8 millimeter quarter inch driver, a 12 millimeter short, and a short extension. You need a pan to catch the coolant, and you need something to pick up spills, rags. I always use gloves. A couple of pro tools I use. This job had some weird clamps. I used pliers. I used a couple swivel sockets. It's good to have a swivel to get a couple of these bolts, so you could have a 3/8 swivel as well. I used a ratchet, my impact, and some cutters, and I used a shorty 12 on that bolt to get that oil dipstick out. So if you got all those tools, great, but these are the ones that you need. Purchased this part from FCP, this upper engine torque mount. This thing wasn't even close to fitting, so I'm gonna contact them and ask them to quit selling these. Cease. We went and checked out Christos's place, and we just now dropped in the turbo, K24 style. We got that strut hung.
Tell me you went fishing.
Kicking off the day on Mita's birthday, I had coffee, worked on a video. Now I'm putting this door panel back on. I gotta find the parts that I had on the floor to put this door panel back together. Mita moved my parts. I gotta get this light connection out here and find the screws for it and get it back together. 10 minutes, door panel installed, back to its glory and beauty. We are in Glory Garden area, downtown Chicago. We're about 2-3 blocks from the lake. Lots of people here today. Beautiful overcast day. Some of the skyline, the amphitheater over there. And there's the birthday lady. Happy birthday, Mita.
Thank you.
She thought it was gonna be bigger, folks. Everybody does. So standing here, looking around, skyscrapers, and the beach. Turn around, baby. Hard to see your reflection up there, but there it is as we walk toward it. And this is how it is when you're walking through. Wow, it's got multiple reflections. Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy, baby. It's crazy. I didn't know it had this effect inside. Wow. You can actually see yourself in that thing. I am here with Alex. He has a, is this the piece or is this simulated?
Well, it's similar to this. It's that part that sits in the back of the wagon.
240?
Yep.
Okay.
So, common Phone calls. Hey, do you have clips? What clips? Go in the back of the part. Hey, what's going on with it? Common issue. Panel. Any panel in the 240. Any of the mounting clips would have a that would normally they would go inside, lock in place and sit there and stuff. So you attach the panel to the body.
Okay.
So commonly this hole here is the size of that.
It gets eaten up.
Well, it's old.
Okay, right. 40 years old.
So, you know, the guy would call up and say, hey, the only thing I need is a different clip. Well, I got a different clip. Normally, the head on the clip is about up to here.
All right, go ahead.
Up to here.
All right.
So what we did, we made custom clips that would sit in place. See, even if you put it here, it will hold.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So on the corresponding part in the vehicle, so you got like you got black ones. Once you have upholstery on this, of course, again, it's not going to move. It's not going to move about. So this is what it looks like.
Okay, so
I got those on the website, and people were asking. Somebody could find it. It's just like a body panel clip.
All right.
Made them custom.
Nice.
Custom stuff. So it's
cool. Having a hard time finding customers to work with today in Chicago land, so I'm gonna do some work on lemonade. I got 3 things to do. I got a headlight that's jacked up. The beam is broken. Well, me and Alex just researched that, and that's hella there, which is OEM. The one I got from my buddy in Seattle, aftermarket. Everything looks right in it, but it's breaking the beam of the light in a bad way. So I need to get a Volvo light in there. Other than that, I got this spring that's rubbing the perch back here, and I got a minor coolant leak, turbo return. So let me do this spring. If I don't have a customer contact me, then I'll do my coolant leak, then I'll probably call it a day. Might have showed you guys this a week or 2 ago, because I've been hearing some noise back here for quite some time, and the spring is rubbing in here. So I'm gonna take that shock loose there, knock it off of there. That'll drop this heavy duty IPD spring down. Then I'll knock that bolt out there, and I'm gonna turn this in a way that it won't rub. I had a shop tighten this up because it was loose at one time, and maybe that's when they turned it so it rubs. The other side's not rubbing, so let me fix this real quick. I jacked this up a little bit. That pulled right off, which was great. So I got this up and off of here. And it looks like that spring is set in a good spot. But again, it's rubbing right in here. So I want to get it moved over that way a little bit. And right now it's terminating to like 2 o'clock. I'm gonna turn it to terminate to like 4 o'clock. See if that does it for me. Do 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 do. And there you have it. It looks like I have well, about a 3/7" clearance, 1/2" clearance now. So that was rubbing there in that perch. I don't think this will rub, but if it does, we'll turn that thing some more and we'll see how it goes. Another thing I need to do, well, besides secure this, is fix this coolant hose here that's leaking. Need to replace it, and right now this thing is hot. I'm not sure if this is the best time to fool with that. Probably best to do it when it's cool. So let me think about that a few minutes and go from there. I was parked somewhere for 2 hours, maybe 3, and all these little helicopter, we call them helicopter leaves, fell down in here because they hit your windshield and they slide down. I didn't realize that coolant bottle cap was there, so I'll clean that out too. But I cleaned a bunch of these things out of the other side. Take this opportunity to remind you guys to turn your torque wrenches down to the lowest setting when you're done with it. You don't want that thing sitting at a higher setting with tension on it. Now, if you got a digital torque gauge, that's different. But these mechanical ones, that you gotta crank this up into the tension area. You want to zero those out when you're done with them for the day. Leather. That is just right.
Is he recording already?
Fine leather.
Are you recording already?
Fine leather 240 seat skin.
That's it.
Brand new.
That's it.
Ready for some good,
Just listen
some
to
good 250 pounds of thrust.
Right. You know, I mean, that's it. That's it. You know,
Sweet. So you guys take the seat apart to put the skins on? Or y'all took it apart to put renew cushion and stuff in?
Everything always comes apart.
Okay.
It gets inspected, even if it doesn't need to. It gets inspected because if any of this stuff is like loose, we'll have to fix it, weld it, and make it solid.
All right. So the seat is as good as better than new. Nice. So we got the back and a seat rest there.
That's it right there.
Here's the back rest for this seat rest here.
There's a back seat.
And the back seat.
The bottom.
Wow. We are working hard today. So what that took, like 20 minutes?
No. It's a whole day.
It's a day-long job, but man, it is worth it. I'll tell you this. I had a car got totaled out. Somebody was driving it in somebody's blind spot. Lady made a left-hand turn from the third lane, totaled out a T5R. Fortunate for me, when the adjuster came to see it, he opened up the door and seen some fresh skins on the seat that I got from Swedish Car Parts. He was like, wow, this thing is nice. He didn't even notice the headliner falling down, the sun visors falling down, the glove box door screwed to the dash. He seen those seats and he said, man, this thing is nice. I promise you that bumped my adjuster's value probably 2 or 3 G's having those fresh seats in there. I was shocked the payout they gave me on that car. So don't underestimate the power of the new seat skins. And besides that, they're good to ride on and they look good. I mean, people get rid of cars because they tired of getting into busted up, ugly, smelly cars. You get your car looking good, feeling good, new seat skin, stuff like that. You'll probably hold on to it a little bit longer. Send some of that money to your retirement fund instead of to Hyundai Motor Credit. If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining. So go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message, or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the more link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.